How to make a glueless wig with no band at all. The perfect fit, the perfect size, no elastic band, double wefts, bob your bobbin, like everything you need to know about machine wigging from start to finish is in this particular video. By the end of this video, you should be proud of a wig you have done while following this tutorial. So stay to the end, guys. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to be showing you everything from how to set up your machine to how to measure your hair size and how to machine wig a glueless wig with no band. Keep watching. Hello besties, welcome to my channel, your spot for all things hair and slay. For more tips, make sure you're following me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook and TikTok. But while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification. Let's slay this journey together. So here is the wig cap we're going to be using. I definitely recommend a dome cap. You can use a mesh cap, but I recommend this if you're a beginner. First things first, you need to know your hair circumference you're working with, and I'm going to be using a size 21. Next thing, your ear to ear measurement, and we're going to mark this on our canvas head. It's very important, so just make sure you're following everything I'm doing. Next, you're going to take your front to nape, and you're going to mark that as well on your canvas head using your measuring tape. Next, you're going to do your nape to nape, and for this you're going to fold into two, right? And you're going to use the guide for your front to nape as a center so that you can have equal sides. So you're going to put that folded part at the middle and you're going to mark the sides. Next, you're going to take your canvas head. You're going to make sure you follow these measurements you use, and you're going to put your T-pins at that exact measurement so that you know where your ear is, your nape is, your forehead is, and this and that. Very important. After doing that, we have to resize this wig. So you just want to pull down the wig or pull it to the middle, whichever works for you, to have it looking nice and flat. So you can always go in to adjust if it's not flat enough for you, but this was okay for me. Next, I'm going to go in with my C needle and my thread to resize the wig cap. So I resize my wig cap using my hand, but you can also use your machine to do that. So here's what it should look like after doing that, and now we are ready for the next step. We are going to be doing a closure side part, so we are going to put our closure on the side part instead of putting it at the middle and shaving it to the side part when wearing. When you're a chronic side part wearer like me, there's no need putting your closure at the center because I'll always wear it at the side. So first you're going to take your closure to the ear. Remember that marking, you know where your ear is on your canvas head. Put your closure at that area and you're going to pin it down. At that area, make sure you leave at least 1 inch out of the wig cap. And then you're going to take the next part of your closure, which is going to go to the middle of your canvas head. And you're just going to leave enough space to cover your wig cap. Not 1 inch, just enough space to cover your wig cap. Look at the difference, guys, and make sure you're paying attention. After that, you're going to pin the ends, right? We want our closure to lay flat, so I'm just making sure I left 1 inch at that ear section. So you're going to pin the end so that it's looking flat, and when it's looking nice and flat, you're going to begin sewing. So I always start from down and work my way towards the closure. That way the knot is going to be missing somewhere in the wig cap and not on my closure. After that, you're going to sew down your closure. You're going to put your needle through your closure onto the wig cap, through your closure onto the wig cap. I hope it's really easy for you to follow and do. This is a very long video, so I'm trying to be as quick as possible while being very educative. So here's what our wig is looking like, and we are ready for the next step, which is going to be drawing our guidelines. For the guidelines, I'm just going to follow the guidelines of my polymer canvas head since the guidelines are already there. At the middle, I'm going to figure out what to do because first of all, I'm working with the side part. So I'm going to figure out what to do at the middle. So you can always use a 1 inch guide or a 0.5 guide depending on what you're working with. And we're just going to give her a moment to enjoy Jagula Jagula. She was listening to it, it was really good. So good she had to replay it a second time. Let's just give us some few seconds, guys. So back to business. After joining my guide, I love to know if my bundles are going to be enough. So I just take them and follow the guide I've marked, and where the bundle ends, I pin it and I continue with the next bundle. This makes me know if I'm going to double weft, triple weft, or single wefts. Very important as well. Next, we are going to thread our bobbin. You're going to put your thread through the hole in your bobbin and wrap it. And then you're going to put it in this bobbin holder and you're going to lock it in. Push it to your left, to your right, sorry. Yes, to your right. And then you're going to start your machine and it's going to do the work for you. If it's too tight, you're going to feel as if the thread is cutting your hand, you're doing something wrong. It should be at a normal, slow pace. Your hand is just to guide the thread, nothing much, nothing serious. There should be no tension. When you're doing, you unlock it and you move it. And here's what your thread is looking like. Next, we are going to fit this back into her compartment. You're going to put it in the bobbin holder and you're going to put the thread into that thing. Yes, yes, exactly. Please just follow what I'm doing. Now you're going to fit this other part. Just make sure it fits perfectly exactly as I'm putting it, and you're going to take this one and fit as well. Your bobbin and your bobbin holder is the last thing to enter, even though all of this are still having something to do with the bobbin, but get what I'm saying. The next person is this, and it's going to enter through this hole. Yes, and you press it in. When you're done with that, you're going to lock it in using these two black things at the corner that are going to enter into these engraved things at its side. Yep. Now that we are done with that, we're going to go ahead to thread our machine. So if you're using a butterfly machine, it's actually very easy to just follow what I'm doing as there are markings. And I just wanted to let you know the bobbin holder, right? If it's here, you're supposed to bob. So if you're not bobbing a bobbin, you should shift it back to your left. So when you send your thread through that, you're going to follow this angle and you're going to send it beneath this thing. So I'm just trying to make sure it's hold. And then you're going to see, you can literally see the arrows. You can literally see the arrows on the screen. You bring it down, you send it here, and you lift it back up. Guys, please, this is actually a visual. I'm not good at explaining this thing thoroughly. Then you're going to, this part has to do your needle, right? So you're going to turn your motor and it's going to take the thread from up and you bring it back down. So I'm going to tilt my camera so that you can see where the next part is. So the next is going to go into your needle. So first you're going to put it at a hook that is beside your needle, and then you're going to send it through your needle, and there you have it. So yep, so now we are going to take the thread from the bobbin by using our needle and pulling it out just like this. And when you're done with that, you send it all at the back of your machine, and it's time to seal in this compartment. We are done with that. Next thing you have to do, turn on your machine. When you turn it on, a light is going to come here. You might not see it, but it's there. And the next thing you're going to do is select what stitch you're going to be using. I will recommend the zigzag stitch. You can go for straight. I use straight sometimes, but zigzag stitch for beginners is really good. So we are going to use this one. Perfect. Next thing we are going to check, I'm going to put it in between 3 and 4. Perfect. Exactly there. That's okay. That's attention. And make sure I'm checking any other thing to make sure my thread is okay, everything is set, and we are going to begin our first step. Put on your machine, turn on your motor, your leg at your motor, and you go. First things first, we are going to double weft because we are going to be using this for our wig. So you want to align your wigs together, use your hand as a guide, and you gently glide them through the machine while sewing down. You're using the zigzag stitch, so it's literally joining them together. Go at a very slow pace, go at a very slow distance. This is the best way to do this. If you have any difficulties or any issues, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to try my best to answer questions or assist you. So I'm just going to do this for the rest of the bundles. Now that we're done with that, we're going to begin with our wigging. Start at the nape, and when you get to the corner, here's another free tip for you. If you do not want to cut your wig, fine, but if you want to cut your wig, where you get to this corner, you cut it. If you do not want to cut it, where you get to this corner, you take your wefts and you send to the second line. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Send to the second line, and then you're going to backward your machine to secure it, and then you're going to rotate your bundle. So if you are going to cut after each line, after each guide that you have drawn, fine. If you do not want to cut your bundles, do exactly what I'm doing here. After doing that, you're going to rotate your hair, you're going to put it down, and you're going to continue. When you get to the end, look at what I'm doing. You send it to the next. That means you're rotating your bundle at the start of the next line, and you basically do the same thing over and over. So this is how I do my wigs when I do not want to cut the bundles. Some customers really don't want you cutting their wigs, and personally I don't want my wigs to always be cut, my bundles always be cut, because it just makes it easy for it to get missing and stuff like that. So yeah, so I love to do this, but when it comes to some certain wigs as well, I always cut them. So it just depends on your preference. I'm just giving you the two options you can use. Okay, moving forward, you're going to see what I'm going to do at the end as well. You can see the line I'm on clearly. This is the line I'm on, the line the weft is on, where my finger is, but I'm going to send it to the line at the top. That is how you rotate without cutting your bundle when machine wigging. When doing this with your hand, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to do, but with the machine it's a little bit complicated. And this other part, you're going to notice I didn't weft this bundle, so I'm just going to join them together just like I would normally do if I'm double wefting. The only difference is I'm actually double wefting while sewing it to the bundle. That's the only difference. Other than that, you're basically doing the same thing. So you can always double weft on your wig. That's just to let you know that you can double weft on your wig, right? Or you can double weft and then sew it down to your wig. Now, how do you attach a different bundle when the bundle you are working with is exhausted? Here's how you attach your different bundles. So here's another double website zip. So basically you just put it beside each other and try to glide the new bundle under the old bundle you're working with. When you get to that place, you need to be careful as you're going to go backward and forward to secure it in place. Now I'm working with 4 wefts, so it's really going to be tricky. This is the part where my needle can snap because of the pressure. So make sure you're using a size 14 to 16 to 18. Yes, and the brand also matters because using a higher size doesn't guarantee the strength, right? So brands also matter. So get a good brand. And we are done with our wigging, guys, just like that. So here's what our wig is looking like, clean, perfect, with a zigzag stitch. So now we are going to go ahead to cut that little section where our closure is supposed to sit. So I'm going to, you can use a scissors, you can use a blade, you can use whatever. But when I started cutting in my scissors, seems as if my scissors was acting up, so I decided to use a seam ripper to cut it out. What I'm going to say is, when doing this, be very careful. You don't want to wound your closure or your frontal, depending on what you're working with. You don't want to damage it. You don't want to cut where you're not supposed to cut, so just be very careful. So like I said, I use my seam ripper because my scissors was acting up, and this was the closest thing I could find beside me. I didn't have time to look for my other scissors or whatsoever. So yeah, so like I said, just be careful when cutting this. Just take your time, cut it smoothly so you don't damage your closure or your frontal. So guys, we are getting to the end of this video, and I really hope this video was helpful. If you learned one thing at least, how to thread your bobbin, how to double weft, how to machine wig, how to measure your head size, how to transfer head measurements to your canvas, how to resize your wig cap, like there was a lot packed in this video for you to learn. So I believe you must have learned at least 1 or 2 things. But if you didn't, that's completely okay. You can just go through my channel, you can check out my channel, you can see a video that might help you with something that you're struggling with, or you can leave me a comment in my comment section. That way I'm going to check it out and I'll see if I can make a video pertaining to your specific requirements. So we are done with it, and you can see how neatly done our wig is looking. Very clean on the inside, very perfect. So I hope you can come out with this from watching this. You can just go through it over and over and over, and you're going to come out perfect. So first things first, this wig is completely glueless, so Be it a closure, be it a frontal, it's not going to change the outcome of this wig. Why? Because I did a very specific head measurement when working with this wig, so it doesn't need an elastic band. It's going to be safe and secured with or without an elastic band. So you could always go ahead and put an elastic band for added security, right? But it's not as if it's the elastic band that is holding this wig to your head. This wig is perfectly secured without an elastic band, so that is another reason why you need to take this tutorial very seriously. In case this was kind of so speed up, you didn't quite pick it out, I'm going to drop a link to 3 separate videos on how to measure your head size, how to transfer your head measurements to a canvas head, how to resize your wig, and how to properly place a side part closure, how to also double wefts, and how to thread your bobbin. So check out the description and I'm going to put the link in it. So I'm just going to give you a test to see how firm this hair is. Like, this hair is so firm. Like I said, there's nothing holding this hair apart from the wig cap and the measurements that I use. Since I use my exact head measurements, it has no choice but to fit perfectly. I'm still trying to show you the inside to see that there is no elastic band whatsoever, no cuts. So this video is going to help you achieve that. Be it a closure, be it a frontal, you're going to have the same results. Just make sure you follow my tutorial and ask questions accordingly. I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you like and you subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos. I have amazing tutorials that can help you in your hair journey. Bye bye. And by the way, the tutorial for styling this wig is already online, so make sure you check it out. I'm going to post the link in this particular video so you can check it out in the description. So I use Chloe coils to style this wig, and I have a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it, the directions to follow, and everything you need to know. So make sure you check it out. Thanks so much for watching once again. Make sure you like and subscribe. See you on my next video.